Okay. All right, guys, how y'all doing today? Good. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name's Jonathan. Everybody calls me the Mezcal Man. You can find me on social media, _Mezcal Man, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I do all kinds of agave spirits training, agave spirits education, whether it's raicilla, baconoa, sotol, mezcales, tequila, okay? And today I'm gonna be talking about Saca Espantos, all right? So at first, I'm gonna give a little introduction on the difference between some of the agave types and what we're gonna be talking about today. We do have a Tobala, and then we also have an Espadin, okay? Now, who likes Mezcal first and foremost? Mezcal? Just two people? Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I feel as if Mezcal's for everyone. It just depends on what's the right varietal or agave for you, right? So not everybody likes the overly smoked mezcales. Some people like something that's a little bit more green, something a little bit more herbal, something a little bit more floral. It's kind of like wine, where not everybody likes Chardonnay from Napa Valley, but they may like a Chablis, or they may like a Cab Franc, or they may like a Verdejo. And those aspects give you an opportunity to discover and explore mezcales. I look at it like a treasure hunt. When I walk into a bar that has a great collection like yourself, and I see a bottle that I've never seen before, it's like, oh, this is great. I get to try something new, and I don't know what the flavor is gonna come when I taste it first, okay? So when it comes to agave types, everybody knows the Blue Weber agave is tequila, right? So Espadin is very similar to tequila. It's really a sister varietal of the plant. So the Blue Weber agave has its blue shade where it comes its name. The Espadin has more of a green or vibrant green shade, or it can kind of sometimes be a little ashy, and that's why the difference is between the two. Essentially, the plant grows exactly the same, has the same style leaves. They're about the same size, takes about the same time for maturity, about 6 to 8 years, depending on where the region or the cultivation process is. But essentially, same thing. The main difference is the cooking process. So the way I see it is, when it comes to mezcales, think about steak. Who here likes steak? Everybody likes steak, right? So if you take your steak and you throw it in your oven, that's tequila, right? Steamed, clean, very simple, but it's great steak. If you take your steak and you throw it on the grill, like in a nice little barbecue, that's mezcal. You get a nice little char, a little smokiness, a little bit of depth of character that's added in there that you don't get when you steam tequila. So all tequilas are mezcales, but not all mezcales are tequilas. All right, very simple, easy way to explain to your guests, dumb it down for them, be like, oh, it's like steak in the oven, steak on the grill, right? Now, not all mezcales are smoky though. That's kind of a misconception that's happened over time. Most people think it's smoky because they've been introduced to an overly smoked mezcales, and that's kind of what the company is looking for. For example, Del Maguey Vida, they really want to have that smoky profile in their mezcales, so it comes out in cocktailable drinks. But other agaves like a Salmiana or Verde or a Tobala, it's not as smoky. You get a little bit more hints of flavor, nuance, and it kind of gets you an opportunity to kind of enjoy a different style, okay? So let's talk about Saca Espantos right now. It loosely translates as, you'll scare the heck out of you. In Oaxaca, there's all this lore and legends, and there's this religious aspects of like warding demons away in some of these small towns. Now, I've lived in some of these small towns, and I'm gonna let you know, those demons are real, all right? I've heard the stories of the La Llorona. I've been in San Luis del Rio. You hear the stories, you hear the words. At night, you're like, what are those sounds? You just kind of want to stay away, okay? But they have these certain rituals that they do, whether it's with herbs and spices where they bless you, or where they do certain things that are kind of like, what is it called? Superstitions, to kind of keep the spirits away, or to protect you as you travel throughout the mountains. I mean, some of these places take 4 hours on a dirt road to get to, and you never know what you're gonna come across, all right? Or you may not even find a road when you get there because it's been washed away. So we really play on the history and lore of mezcal, right? When I come back to lore, you have many stories that maybe you have heard of, whether it's the La Llorona, the Tlacuache, the Coyote and the Moon, or whether you've heard Mayahuel and Quetzalcoatl as well. All these stories really play on an aspect of Oaxacan history, or Mexican history, but it also plays a way to understand some complex themes, right? So that's kind of what we do. Obviously, you see the sugar skull on top of here, and it has that great representation of Dia de los Muertos, right? Which is a whole nother aspect in itself, right? So, do we have any cups? We're gonna do a quick little tasting of both.
Here you go, my friend.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna do both the mezcales today. The Espadin, like I said, takes 6 to 8 years. The Tobala takes can take 12 to 18 years to mature. The reason being is because the Tobala, 18 years. Yeah, so like think about that. It takes 18 years for a plant to grow, mature, and then you still gotta go out there, chop it down, cook it, and do all the process. That's why I don't think that Mezcal kind of gets its due shine, because you have 18-year whiskeys that cost over $100, and you grow corn every year. You grow wheat every year. It's really just sitting in a barrel and letting it wait, which, I mean, I don't think is the same as somebody who has to cultivate, mind, watch, name the agaves so that they can have an understanding of when it's going to be fully mature, and obviously the soil, the water, all those years that it takes for it to mature brings different depth and character to the actual agave. The saying is, if it grows together, goes together. So if you're in a region where you have a bunch of plantains, a bunch of bananas, then
It's sweeter.
yes, it will be sweeter, right? It will have the aspects of the fruit and vegetables that grow in the area. If you're in a region that has like tobacco and corn, you may have more drier notes. Or if you're depending on the water source that you're using, whether you're on the top of the mountain trying to get well water, or where you're in the Valle de Centrales and you're using some of the water that comes off the mountain, it can really change the depth and profile of the agave. All right? So when we drink mezcal, it's not a shooter. All right? I don't recommend giving a lime with mezcal to your guests. A, because it's high in acido or acid. So if you add an acid with an acid, it's really gonna come out and you're only gonna get like the smoke, and it's not gonna be pleasant. I usually recommend using a softer acid or a softer fruit to pair with your mezcal. Whether it's mango with your chili salt or chamoy, whether it's an orange slice, whether it's a slice of pineapple, you really wanna balance the sweet notes of the fruit with kind of some of the acid of the mezcal, and especially because mezcal usually ranges anywhere between 40 and 52%. Your sweet spots can be around 57 to 52 when it comes to like intense flavor, but it doesn't negate the good quality mezcales that can be anywhere between 40 and 45 because of what they're trying to do and how they're trying to produce the mezcal, okay? So when we drink mezcal, you wanna dame un besito, take a little kiss, right? Just a little kiss first to wet your palate. It takes your palate down a notch because, like I said, with acid, it's like putting lemon juice on your tongue. The first taste of lemon juice, it's just bitter. But then after your tongue is kind of adjusted, then the lemon kind of tastes a little bit sweeter and it's easier to drink, right? So same thing with mezcal. Take a little sip first, let your palate adjust, kind of set it on your tongue. At first, you're probably gonna notice a little bit of the smoky notes. You may notice some of the citrus aspects, but then after we let our palate settle for a little bit and take a second sip, you're gonna notice more of the sweetness of the agave and more of the complexity of the agave as well. Cool? Right, first kiss. All right, what do we get in flavor? What do you got? You got a big smile on your face.
It's really smooth.
Smooth?
Yeah, very light.
Light, okay. Gentlemen?
I don't know.
I'm scared. I haven't even tasted it.
It's all right, don't be afraid.
It's not bad.
Yeah, just a little kiss. Okay, what do you get?
Charcoal.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you get the smoke aspect, right? What do you get?
A little bit of orange.
Okay, a little bit of citrus, orange that comes out of
Yeah, I
there.
see the orange now.
You get the orange
It, like,
coming in there?
settled.
Yes.
Yeah, after you settle, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit more. We're gonna let the mezcal set, we're gonna let our palates talk, and then we're gonna take another sip and you're gonna see the difference in the flavor profile, okay? So I'm gonna move on to Tobala real quick, just so we can talk, and then we're gonna taste the little last sip of the mezcales, and then we'll taste the Tobala. Got it? So, Tobala, like I said, can take anywhere between 12 and 18 years. Excuse me, can I get a water, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's dry, hot and humid out here, right?
Yeah.
So Tobala, like I said, 12 to 18 years. It is called the king of agave. The reason being is because this agave does not grow juelitos or little children or clones underneath it. It can only fully mature, grow its quiote, and then reproduce with seed pod. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it can only fully mature and reproduce during seed pod. So At one point, there was a worry about over cultivation of Tobala because they were like, if we continue to over cultivate Tobala, we won't have it anymore, especially wild Tobalas. Like if you're going out in the fields and you find a bushel of Tobalas, normally it means that there's one that was up the mountain, the seeds travel down the mountain, and then you have a whole bunch of Tobalas that are spread out throughout the field. And so maestros have been very careful at the amount of agaves that they're cultivating and the amount of agaves that they're continuing to allow to mature so they can have more seeds to be able to produce in the future. The way that the seeds are pollinated are by a few ways. Obviously you have bees, birds, and then obviously the long-nosed fruit bat, which is the most commonly way they come up. The nectar of the flower is very sweet like the agave as well. And then they pollinate the other plants. So Tobala, most of your best maestros work with Tobala. If you are not harvesting Tobala at its maturity, can have a slight bitterness to it. So that's why like some maestros who are getting into the game, when it comes to that, they will add like say apples to their process to kind of soften it off. I really recommend like the ones who do the best jobs, you're always gonna see Tobalas that have like very good floral notes to it, slight citrus notes, and I identify the agaves based off the elements. So you have one of 4 elements: fire, earth, wind, and water. The Espadin, you probably notice, is a fire agave. You may have felt that slight heat on the backside, a little bit of intensity on your palate, and it kind of lingers in your mouth, all right? So let's have our second sip and let's see what we're saying. All right, not as harsh as it was the first time, right?
No.
A little bit smoother, right?
The smokiness went away.
Smokiness went away, right? Why do you think that happened?
Is it because like the acid or like the citrus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the acid in your mouth is kind of settled down. The first flavor you're gonna identify is the one that's most prominent, which is the smoke. The second flavors are usually in the back end. So you see, we notice more of the citrus, probably a little bit more of the honey that comes out of there, the sweet agave honey, right? And then we also notice that the smoke isn't as prevalent. And so that's how I recommend when you tell your guests, don't take it like a shot. Sip and enjoy, relax, eat your food. And as you sip, the longer you wait or the longer you enjoy it, the more the sweetness kind of comes out, the more the citrus kind of comes out, and depending on the agave, the herbs, the spices, and all the other things, okay? So back to Tobala. If you don't want to finish, you can dump, and then I'll pour y'all some Tobala. It's okay, we're borrachos in the morning, right? So with Tobala, like I said, as it being the king, this agave has a wind characteristic when it comes to the flavor. The wind aspect shows that it's gonna have a punch of flavor in the beginning, but afterwards it kind of dissipates really quickly and it doesn't really linger too much in your mouth.
And this is the 18-year-old plant?
Yes. So the plant, like I said, the plant grows.
The 18-year-old plant.
Sorry, I'm trying to like learn.
No. It's a good aspect. And then I guess one for the host. There you go.
You like the Tobala.
I mean, I do like the Tobala. I mean, Tobala is something either I start with or I finish with, right? And that's kind of how I'd recommend to your guests. Because the flavor kind of hits you, it's either like, okay, let me like get my whole palate kind of adjusted. Now everything that you eat and drink afterwards kind of has that hint to it. Or at the end of your meal when you want to digest and relax, have that Tobala to sip on, get the slight flavors, cheese made with your friends, and kind of enjoy, okay?
My Toby.
Yeah, with your Toby, right? So let's start off, first kiss with the Tobala.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
more smoother.
Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a hint. There's a reason why some of y'all are getting very vastly different characters. She said it was more smoother.
Yeah.
You guys were saying it was more smoky. What were you gentlemen saying?
That was way smoother.
Way smoother for him? So different. So agaves have certain characteristics. They can be identified as masculine and feminine, not as in like the way they produce, but like how soft or how aggressive they may come in flavor. When it comes to Tobala, it does release certain pheromones that men and women will have different aspects to as well. So for example, some people may get some of those notes that are smoother, some people may get some of the notes that are smokier, and it really just depends on your palate and your sensitivity to those aspects, right? So the biggest one that I notice is the Quiche and Magic Quiche or Karwensky agaves. They are known as the promiscuous agaves because they cross-pollinate with everything. That's why they have so many subvarietals, right? Not you, is it? So in doing so, men will taste a certain flavor profile versus women will taste a different flavor profile. And it all does have to do with the characteristics of the actual agave. So like a guest may say, you may say, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I love it. But then your husband sitting next to you is like, it's a little smoky, I don't know if I like this one as much, right? It's not, it's the way that your sensitivity is to the actual agave. It's not the agave itself, okay? So let's try our second sip. See, I see you like that one because you finished it, huh?
She love it.
So what?
This would be the feminine.
A little feminine, light and soft, right? You notice the sensation on the tips of your tongue?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but the second time. Yeah.
Right, for the second time for sure, right? What are the flavors that we're getting?
I feel like I can taste vanilla.
Vanilla, okay, good. What are you getting? The vanilla as well? Any orange, some more citrus, okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody get any floral notes?
I guess
You do get the
guess
floral
so,
notes,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
The slight flower, because, okay, vanilla is made from the orchid, right?
Right.
So that's the floral notes that you're probably getting from there as well, okay? So understand, like when it comes to mezcal, when it comes to talking to your guests, my job is to make sure y'all make more money, right? Imagine a table of 5, we're chit-chatting, they're almost at the end of their meal, and I'm like, oh, it's, you know what? To help y'all digest this arrachera or this big taco plate, let's have a round of Tobala, right? $20 each, it's $100 right there. Boom, another $20 in my pocket, right? So the way you explain it to your guests is give subtle hints and subtle clues. You're not gonna remember everything that I've said. Obviously, I'm gonna share this video with you so you have something and a resource for the future, but it gives you little hints to talk about to your guests. You can say, oh my gosh, the Tobala, it's known as the king of agave. And they're like, why is it the king? It's like, oh, because it's the most prized possession. It can only grow with seeds, and it really has this unique flavor where it hits you in the face, but then it kind of slowly disappears, right? Simple, quick, easy to go. Or when they talk about Espadin, you're like, you see a bunch of guys who come in here who maybe are having a rowdy time. You're like, hey man, let's have a shot of Espadin. It's gonna light you on fire. You're gonna really feel the energy. They may take it like a shot, and you're gonna see them go, oh, and then it's good to go, right? So play with what your guests deliver to you. If Espadin is great, use Espadin for the occasion. If Tobala is great, use Tobala for the occasion. And when it comes to cocktails, I've seen with all the Real Tacos that I've been at so far, how would you pair this in a cocktail form? So for example, what would you use from either a cocktail on the menu or a cocktail you would recommend for Espadin? Mezcalita.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like passion fruit.
The passion fruit, okay. No? Okay.
I think this would. I think this Espadin would go really well with a pineapple guava.
Okay.
I was thinking the mango.
The mango? Okay. So I have had it a few times at different restaurants. The pineapple guava margarita that y'all have, I know it's been used with the floater. Some people do it's half and half. I do see doing a full shot of mezcales brings more depth and character when it comes to that one as well, right? I've also seen it in the Paloma Negra, right? Substituting the Paloma's tequila for the mezcales, it gives you a slight depth of character in there, and it plays well with the citrus notes. Now, if we're talking Tobala, how would you do that?
Probably like fresco cucumber with mezcal.
Okay.
Sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just recommend it as a,
It's just as it is. Okay. Same. Yeah. The other option is I've seen it done with like an orange slice and a little bit of soda. Or the great thing about mezcales is if you have like say a mezcal that's 48, 50%. Those are high proofs if you were looking in the whiskey world. So don't be afraid to offer a large ice cube on the side, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna bring down the temperature of the mezcales, but enhance the sweetness and flavor profile of the actual agave. So then they'll notice a little bit more of the nuances, just because the chilled aspect will kind of settle the smoke and bring out the sweetness of the actual mezcal. Okay? Do we have any questions? Cool. Well, we are doing a promo this month. We are going to be, as we're speaking with all the Real Tacos, the following month going in, we are doing a little competition. The person who sells the most mezcal, and delivers the most mezcalitas or mezcal cocktails with these Saca Espantos, we are going to either deliver a gift card or a bottle of mezcales for you. Okay? So it gives you a great opportunity to like have some mezcal at home, try it with your friends, make some cocktails yourself, and then don't be afraid to play around. The way I see mezcal is it's meant to be enjoyed with friends. And I don't say, oh, you can only drink mezcal as a shot, you can only have it neat with an orange. How you like to drink is a way that you should be able to enjoy mezcales. If I like cocktails, okay, let's substitute in a cocktail. Let's see how it does. You may find that you love it more in your favorite cocktail than what you had originally. Or if you like stuff on the rocks, hey, let's use it on the rocks. It should be just fun. Oh, look at that. As we're wrapping up, this is a perfect timing, right? But I want y'all to understand, Saca Espantos, we're really trying to show y'all the depth and character of mezcal, help y'all understand that there is a mezcal for everybody. It may not always be Espadin, but the more you taste, the more you try and enjoy, the more you'll start to understand the nuances and flavors, and then you'll be like me on a treasure hunt trying to find different agaves in the world. Well, that's my time. Thank you so much. I'm glad I got to teach y'all. It was my pleasure.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, if y'all have any questions, please let me know. Concerns, I will share that video with you.
Yes, let me get your contact info. Because I actually have some questions for you.
Of course. I'm here for y'all. Oh wait, that was mine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Really?
It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nice and sweet.
Yeah,
Perfect. All right, let me get your